Hi everyone, I am outside as you can see, and I felt inspired to share a message with you today. We are in a period of huge energetic shifts. I don't know if you can feel it. I know that I can. And what I feel is a change, not one that's coming, but one that is already here. It's not only an internal shift, but it's also a shift that's happening in our reality, that's reflecting around us what changes we need to make, and also giving us clues as to where we're going next. It's a really exciting time, but it can also be a little bit scary just because there's so much purging happening. This can be in the form of your relationships, your career. I know a lot of people are in transition where either their businesses are shifting, they're changing roles, they're changing jobs, companies. And I know that a lot of relationships are falling away too. There's an energetic clearing happening. And if you're not aware of what's going on in the process of timeline shifting into new energies, then you may see this time as only a time of loss and grief, when really it's both. There is a purge happening, and with that can come a lot of confusion around what's really happening. Am I making the right decisions? Are the things that falling away, am I meant to hold on to them? But I feel certain, and I know for sure, that right now, whatever is leaving your life is meant to leave right now. It doesn't mean that it won't come back later in a new, better, and more aligned form. But everyone right now is being called to go on their own individual paths, to really go within and step forward, creating your new path and thinking about things in a different way. The world that we live in is rapidly changing, as you know, and with this comes a change in the type of leadership that we have. We can already see the results of what poor leadership looks like, not only from a presidential level, but also within the organizations in which we work. Whether that's your business and you as a leader, noticing that you need to change on your own, or it's someone else that you collaborate and work with. Old structures are quickly dissolving and dismantling. And with that leaves a huge gap and a new need for leaders who are conscious, who are human-centric, and who have the best interest of not only themselves, but also the communities that they impact in mind. Conscious leadership, visionaries, impact and purpose-driven leaders are needed now more than ever. And it starts with us. It starts with us going within. It starts with us doing the work to realize where we may be falling short as leaders, and then taking and accepting the challenge to step up, to rise above whatever it is that's holding us back from fully owning our power and building the emotional intelligence to also ensure that as we use our power, we're using it in a way that uplifts and builds communities rather than keeps them separated and fractured. There are a lot of people who have been impacted, especially in online business and marketing, by toxic sales and marketing culture. And that's left people not knowing who to trust, not knowing who to buy from. And we've seen even the trend of authenticity become popular. We've seen people weaponizing authenticity to drive sales, to create more revenue in their business. And even that has become somewhat superficial. So now what people are looking for, myself included, is to connect with people who are offering not only transformation, but offering guidance in a way that feels not only authentic, but aligned with the person who's serving it. What we need is people who have gone through the journey of transformation on their own and are now sharing the results of what worked for them, what didn't work. And that is how we're going to build trust. So if you're watching this and you are a leader, whether you have a team of 1 or 100, then this is your opportunity to put in the work if you haven't done so yet. And if you have put in the work, share your story. You can share in a vulnerable way without trauma dumping, sharing all of your information. You can keep it high level. I think the deeper that you go, the more impactful it can be. But you can do that in a way that still helps you to protect the most vulnerable pieces of you. I'm a big fan of sharing pieces, sharing what I'm comfortable with sharing without giving it all away. I think there's something sacred about keeping parts of your journey to yourself, but you can find a way to share your message and share your journey, what you've really experienced behind the scenes, and share that with the people who are looking up to you for leadership in a way that doesn't feel invasive to you personally. Leadership really used to be about who has the most status, who has the most accolades, who knows who, and what rooms are they in. And while there is value in earning what you've received, working hard, as they say, which I'm very careful about saying that because it's been attached to toxic work culture, to hustling, to grinding, and especially for Black women who our value has only been seen when we're overperforming above the standard and producing for the benefit of others. And as we take off our capes collectively and put on our own oxygen mask first, we're realizing there's so much more to leadership and community and connection than always being the giver. It's time to make space to receive as well, and receive in a different way. Receive energetically. Receive in the forms of rest. We keep talking about having more joy. Collectively, we're all seeking more joy. But that also leads you into freedom, not only physical freedom, by choosing opportunities that don't drain you and don't have you in this hamster wheel of overperforming and overgiving, but also choosing experiences that feel aligned with you energetically, that feel reciprocal, that feel good to the soul. That is the focus and where we're heading in this new era of leadership, of community, and our collective experience. And what's been missing is true connection, not for what you can produce, not for your value being in what you can sell or market, but really the value in who you are as a person, what's inside, your values, what you believe your purpose is, and also being connected to a higher power where gifts, skills, and wisdom can channel through you for you to then share with your community. And that is how we create energetic impact, the ripple effects that happen through our communities by how we communicate with each other, by how we share energy, by how we love on each other, and what we build and what we create. And that's true power. True power is being able to harness your own power and use it for good and bring other people along with you in an energetically balanced way where you're giving, but you're also receiving. And then that inspires other people to do the same. And then those people inspire other people to do the same. And then the groups just get larger and larger and larger. And I believe this is how we can make change as a collective. So where do you begin? How do you make this shift? How do you start making this transition into change? I'll share with you what I did and what worked for me and what I see other leaders who are stepping up, other visionaries, other impact and purpose-driven leaders, what they're doing. It all starts from within. It starts from facing your own fears, facing your own shadows, your own traumas, the areas in which you need to heal, and owning the journey of self-mastery, self-leadership. Some call it personal development. This falls under personal development, but that's really what it is. Everything outside of you is also a reflection of you, and how you see the world is a reflection of your experiences. You see through a lens of your beliefs. So if you want to see a change, then you must start with shifting your own beliefs. Now, this is metaphysical. This is something that I'm really excited to dive into deeper on my channel and in my content. But for now, I'll keep it high level and start with looking at yourself in the mirror. What's being reflected back to you? What feedback are you getting? Are you even asking for feedback? Be mindful of who you're getting feedback from and consider their lens, their perspective, their experiences. But if you're getting feedback from people that you can trust, and if you haven't gotten that yet, finding the courage to ask them, hey, where do you think I can do better as a leader? What do you need? That's another way to really understand what you can shift and what you can do to step into this new energy and transform yourself as a leader in this new era. Is observing, what do people need? Am I positioned to provide them with that? If I'm not, do I have the skills to find other people who can support? If I'm feeling resistance to that. Why? A lot of leadership has been built in ego, and that's not true power. True power is not built in ego. It's not built around status. Status can come with good leadership, but good leadership is not built on status. Good leadership is built on values. And you'll see the people who are conscious leaders, the people who are really leading change and have these huge followings of good-hearted, passionate, loving people, they are constantly relying on their community for feedback. They don't make it about themselves. They make it about the people that they're trying to impact. And as a result, because this is how energy works, they receive support in exchange. They receive the status, they receive the accolades because people are so grateful that they have someone they can follow that understands them, that sees them, and that feels like they are really on their side genuinely. And I believe that this is what we need to see more of. From the highest levels of leadership that exist in our world, all the way down to our family systems. It starts from within. It starts from transforming your own beliefs, your own mindset, and really taking a look at how you're showing up, how you're treating yourself. Look at how your relationship with yourself is. Do you honor yourself? Are you kind to yourself? Do you push yourself really hard? Do you have expectations of yourself that you don't even meet, but you expect other people to meet, okay? This is the work that I had to do as well. And I'm still doing. I think it's a lifelong journey because I'm learning that with each level, as I shift, as I transform, I learn new things about myself. The world is constantly changing, which requires me to up-level my skills. And these aren't hard skills so much anymore because we can delegate that. We have AI, we have other people who are very skilled in what they do, right? And this is another result of removing your ego from the work that you do, is realizing that you're not the best at everything, and that's okay. But giving opportunities to other people who their zone of genius may be something that's a weakness for you, instead of trying to own that and hold on to that to say, I can do it all myself. This goes back to the cape analogy, okay? You gotta take the cape off and stop trying to be a superhero in your business or as a leader. So those are my thoughts today. Please leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. If my channel is resonating with you, subscribe and share this with someone else who is on their journey to not only be a better leader in their community, but also be a better leader to themselves, to lead their own lives in a way that feels good for them, to lead it with intention and to have more ease and to let go of the resistance of power, of struggling and ego that is really how we've been taught to lead not only other people, but to lead ourselves. There's power in softness, and there's power in silence as well. So I challenge you to do that in the next couple of days. Sit with yourself, see what comes up, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.